everyone, this is Lisa Jones, and I am here to give you an update on what's happening with the headwaters of the Little Wekiva River. I am standing here at the corner of Princeton and John Young Parkway. You all may remember an earlier story that I did in which I was talking about how the city of Orlando was planning on destroying the forested wetlands that have been here for hundreds of years, essentially, and they were planning on putting in a recreational park. That's what they told everybody. We're going to destroy these wetlands, but we're putting in a recreational park that will be helpful to everyone. Well, here's the update. If you look behind me, you will see that actually they're planning on building luxury townhomes, not just townhomes, but luxury townhomes. Why is this important? Why is this critical? Well, first of all, it shows that the city of Orlando does not keep its word. It's not honest. It will say it's going to do one thing and it's going to do another. The other thing is, as I mentioned in the last story, was the concern about the loss of the forest will decrease the air quality in this area. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's a whole lot of traffic that's going on around me. This highway, the John Young Parkway, has been extended and made wider, and therefore there are a lot more semi-trucks that are coming down this road. Semi-trucks means a lot of air pollution coming out of their exhaust. And so there is a predominantly African-American community that is located not even a mile, not even a half a mile away from this site. And for years, that site has been protected by the forest that has been there. I live there, so I know what's there. And we've always had very clean air because of the fact that even though we had all this traffic, we had almost 400 acres of forested wetland that was around our neighborhood that helped to absorb a lot of that carbon dioxide and the particulate matter that tends to harm people's lungs. I have a PhD in ecology and conservation, so let me take you to school for a minute. Many people don't understand exactly why trees are extremely beneficial to have and why forests are even better to have, especially old growth forests. Trees absorb carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. That is their equivalent of oxygen. We take in oxygen. Without oxygen, we would die. Trees take in carbon dioxide. Without carbon dioxide, they would die. And they use that to help process their food. Basically, it's glucose. Sugar is what they use for food. And so by taking in carbon dioxide, the trees help us because they're removing carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere because carbon dioxide is poisonous to us. The interesting thing is that when you have old growth forests like this forest is hundreds of years old. It had never ever been developed. Nothing had ever been done to it for the most part. And so you had a lot of trees that were over 50 years old. Trees that are 50 years old absorb a lot of carbon dioxide, more than the little baby trees that they plant. Many times the city of Orlando will say, oh, well, we're destroying 5,000 trees, but we're going to plant about 20 new trees. Well, these new trees are baby trees. Old 50-year-old trees, they can absorb anywhere from, well, they absorb a lot of carbon dioxide every single day. Whereas little baby trees, they're just getting started. They don't absorb as much, and it will take them a long time to get to the point that they absorb as much as the old growth trees. Not only do they provide clean air, but they also help cool your house. If you've ever driven down a road and you were in a place that had buildings and then you went through a stretch that just had forest, did you ever notice how cool it was? Trees have the ability to cool the air around them. Well, City of Orlando has approved the development of quite a few projects, and with those projects, including the Packing District, which is one that the City of Orlando is participating in with Dr. Phillips Charities, and then the other development, the warehouse, the industrial warehouse that I mentioned in my last story, Princeton Oaks, which took out 60 acres. The Packing District took out over 100 acres. So, and then there are other developments that have been approved by the City of Orlando, which are going to take out pretty much the remaining acreage of the headwaters of the Little Wekiva River. And so, many people think, okay, well, it's okay. What's wrong with losing a few trees? Well, we're talking about thousands of trees, on the order of perhaps, definitely 2,000 trees on that 60 acres. So you can imagine on 100 acres, approximately 6,000 trees were lost. So 8,000 trees that are old. Old trees are really good at absorbing carbon dioxide. You want to have old trees. In fact, the city of Orlando commissioned a study from the University of Florida that showed how important the urban forests are. And that's exactly what this is, an urban forest, or at least what it was. What's remaining? Subaru car dealership, Subaru of America, Don Mealy Subaru, is planning on destroying another, 88 acres in order to build a car dealership and in order to build another set of apartments. Now, here's the other thing. In addition to the fact that the loss of the trees will decrease the air quality in this neighborhood, the EPA has a monitor, and that monitor has shown that this air quality in this neighborhood is already bad. It's at 78%. In terms of percentile, it's in the 78th percentile. Really bad is 100th percentile. So as you can see, this neighborhood is already suffering from poor air quality, and the city of Orlando, in spite of the fact that residents in the neighborhood have told the city of Orlando, we don't want you to destroy the forest, we want to maintain our air quality. We have a lot of senior citizens here who need fresh air, they need healthy, clean air. Please do not destroy these forests. In spite of that, City of Orlando, Dr. Phillips, and the other developers have gone ahead and destroyed the forest. Now, recreational parks, well, they have their purpose. They can be good in terms of helping people to get outside and get out. But the point of this story is what was supposed to be a recreational park is now becoming luxury townhomes. And when we say luxury, we're not talking about anything that anybody in this community would be able to afford. Luxury townhomes typically are for people who are wealthy. So, with that, I'll let you kind of put the pieces together. Destroy a forest that's extremely important, not just to the senior citizens and other residents of an African American community, not only important to them, but also important to endangered species and important to Wekiva Springs and the Wekiva River and the Little Wekiva River, all these natural things. This land was extremely important to all of those. And now they want to build luxury townhomes so wealthy people can, buy expensive townhomes and enjoy being able to say that they live in the packing district? Is people's health really worth that? One other thing a lot of people don't realize, and this is something that's come up recently, is with COVID-19, if people live in an area that has a poor air quality, lots of air pollution, their lungs are already suffering in terms of trying to fight against the air pollution. So when you add coronavirus to that, studies have been done, even here in Orlando, that have shown that in areas that have poor air quality, that have high air pollution, people who got coronavirus in those neighborhoods wound up having the more serious symptoms, those symptoms that put them in the hospital and could potentially lead to death. So at this point in time, air quality is more important than ever. Coronavirus isn't going away, and so people really need to start looking at what decisions their lawmakers are making, their city officials, their county officials, their state officials, federal officials. What decisions are they making when it comes to the environment that actually could help support healthy lungs and a healthy environment? It's time that we started holding them accountable.